Greetings, everybody. The past few days, Angel and I, and the entire family, have been incredibly sick, and it doesn't seem like we've been getting any better. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out that the reason why the videos have started to slow down is because of that, which I do greatly apologize. I might try to do some Let's Playing just to try to get some videos out to y'all. I do have one more, and actually I do have a bunch of me playing that tabletop simulator, playing Munchkin, with the QA team of Primal Carnage, which was incredibly fun, and I look forward to getting that ready. But that's not the reason why I'm here making this video on a day when I actually should be sleeping. There's something I would like to say is that I just recently watched this video, and maybe I'll put a link of it in the description. But it was a video about how social media, such as Facebook, have gotten to the point where people are shutting themselves out of the real world and are claiming to be social people because of the X amount of friends, X hundreds amount of friends that they have on Facebook, and saying that they feel lonely because they don't understand them, and it's because you can't express that much emotion, real life emotion, in the real world, or in that world, as you can with the real world. So it inspired me to really think, have I been using my life that way? Have I been stuck on the computer so much that I missed opportunities that I shouldn't? Have I missed opportunities to live a life that I could? Would my life have been different if I wasn't spending 2 years on the YouTube channel? Or would it have been better? Would it have been worse? Personally, I think it would be worse after really, really thinking about it, because the reason why I am more social than I was before is because I met Angel, and I met Cygnus, and I met Caboose, and I met Jared. And the thing is if you're only relying on talking to people through Facebook or through, words in a chat, then yeah, that actually probably is really true. You really shouldn't be relying on that as your reliable social resource, because it's not good for you. You're not expressing human emotions and legitimate emotions through words on a screen, rather than actually saying it in front of the person yourself, because a person learns another person's personality by watching their facial and bodily movements. That's just basic human nature. You don't need to be a psychologist, or you don't even need psychology classes to figure that out. And even then, if you're stuck on the social screen, maybe you don't have that knowledge because you've been shutting yourself out. I shut myself out when about 8 months, not 8 months, it's been a lot longer than that now. I would say almost a year. For almost a year, when I first met Angel. God, it's almost been a year already. And that was because I had found somebody who understood me for who I was. And we didn't only talk through the chat, through Skype. We chatted through calls. So even though we couldn't see each other's faces, we could guess our emotions of each other by verbally speaking it. Now, there was one flaw in that fact, the fact that we did that, is because we couldn't see each other's faces, it was hard for us to read whether our emotions were actually true, or let alone what we did as people on a normal basis, on a daily basis. So when I moved here, the first couple weeks, I'd say the first 2.5 weeks, were basically just her and me trying to figure out an equilibrium and trying to understand each other and trying to figure each other out by our facial and bodily movements. And it was hard. It was really awkward a lot of the time. It was frustrating. It was mind-blowing sometimes, and in a lot of ways it was a great experience because we needed that. But because of the fact that we met through a video game, and then went onto a verbal speaking machine, it was a lot easier. Hence why the whole falling in love everything was also a lot easier. And being there for each other. But so that's what I was saying. That's why I think it didn't really change my life for the worst, with the fact that I stayed in the social media area, because YouTube counts as a social media. It's really an entertainment media, but it's also a social media because you're involving yourself in video games and communities and people who play online with you, that kind of an ordeal. But, I was thinking, like, well, if I had stopped being so obsessed with the YouTube channel and actually stood back and tried something different. I mean, I used to go on walks all the time. I've never, ran into people. Our town was incredibly tiny, where I used to live. It was all craziness. It's not a great place to live. At least when you're an adult. If you're raising a family, it's great. But when you're an adult, it's not. It's a scary place. But either way, I was just thinking that, it's actually a good thing that I was so obsessed. Because if I wasn't, I would have met Cygnus still. I probably would not have met Jared or Caboose or Chloe. And then I wouldn't have eventually met Angel and Silver. And then Kitty and Tiffy and everybody else. And that's because of the fact that I was obsessed, that I was able to meet these people and get the experiences that I did, which to me is a good thing. To a lot of people that may not seem like a good thing, and I understand that. It's not typically a great thing to get people around the world on the internet where, they could be using voiceovers or whatever. But if I wasn't so obsessed with my own social media, which is YouTube, thankfully, if it was Facebook, this would be a whole other story, because Facebook is all wonky and crazy and stuff. But if I wasn't obsessed with YouTube, I would not have gotten the motivation to do the community events with Primal Carnage, meet Silver and Angel, and have the life that I have right now, which is living with Angel, and we're engaged. So it's like, I mean, and her family is awesome. So it's like, I actually am purposely straying away from video games and my computer and I have a supercomputer. Who wouldn't be absolutely obsessed with this supercomputer, wanting to play it, for hours and hours and hours on end? And I did do that at first, because that's what I was used to doing. But after I started being a bit more social with Angel and her family, I started to stray away from this computer and try to do things besides just focus on video gaming. I started talking to people. I started talking and getting to know Angel's family better. They've started to get to know me better. And, it works. It's awesome. I know this is a very long video. I should probably stop it here. But watching that video got me a real big boost on being proud of the things that I did. Even though they're stating, hey, mobiles are bad because Facebook is bad because of this and this and this. If you use Facebook for what you're really supposed to use it for, which is to keep in touch with the people you're actually in contact with, that's fine. It's basically like a faster version of emailing. But if you abuse Facebook, which is where you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of friends, and that you don't, and probably not even, I would say, only like 5 to 20 you actually know, that's scary. That's when you want to stray away and don't do that. Because that can get dangerous, that can get really terrifying, especially if you put things like your phone number up on your statuses, which I've seen a lot of people do. It's really scary knowing that you're putting your phone number on your status on Facebook that can be seen by hundreds of thousands of millions of people, and it can go viral. It can go everywhere. You can get calls from anybody, and that's a scary thought. So, but since I was never obsessed with Facebook, and I strayed away from that really fast. I went onto YouTube, and here I am today, 2 years later. And I think that's really cool. So I think it just depends on how you use the social media and how you use your technology in order for people to understand, it's not really that bad unless you abuse it. So it's your choice. And I know they mentioned, like in the video, that if you close the door, you're really just closing the doors to the world and shutting people out from you socializing with them. And that's true, because that's what I did. I had my door closed all the time, but my reasoning for that was because my family hated my loud voice roaming around the house, and they would tell me to shut up constantly. Whereas here, even my mom came up to me and she said, you can keep that door open. We're not going to yell at you so long as it's happy noises. If you're doing your commentary, if you're laughing, that's what we want to hear. That is fine. You can keep the door open, which I feel safer that way. Right now I don't have it open, but that's because everybody's sick. I don't want to give anybody a headache for my loud voice, let alone how harsh, hoarse, and bleh it sounds right now. So I know, I'm sorry this is long. I'll get to the point right now. This is also my 500 video, 500 subscriber video, and I'm incredibly, incredibly proud that I finally hit 500. I never thought that I would get up this high. I was amazed when I hit 100. I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and now here we are at 500. I just think that is amazing, and I can't say enough how proud I am to be the owner of this channel that has earned, over the course of 2 years, 500 subscribers. I know a lot of other YouTubers have like thousands and millions or whatever within 2 to 3 years, and I was on the lower end of YouTube, where I was just hiding in a corner and people had to actually look for me in order to find me. But because I have almost 900 videos, I think that's starting to kind of get it out there, especially the whole Primal Carnage thing. That was a big hit. But either way, I'm actually starting to really do a good job, and I'm feeling incredibly proud that I have everything that I need to make my dream a reality, which is to make YouTube my full-time job, where I don't have to ask for donations constantly. I can just leave a donation button or leave my email address in my About page, and anybody can just send it wherever if they feel like it. And then I can just rely on advertisements to pay me on a monthly basis. And that's cool. That's cool, the fact that I'm actually getting out there and starting to actually do that. I mean, I love doing this job. I've been doing it for 2 years, and this is the only job where I've felt like, yes, I want to do this for the rest of my life type of deal. And I'm really young. I'm only 20. There's a lot of content that can happen within, 10 years or 2 years, for crying out loud. If 2 years got me 900, I could be at 2,000 in 2 years. God, that's a scary thought. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. But I thank you for listening. I know this was incredibly long. The picture that you see is a sneak peek to the new mascot. I know that is a character from Fire Emblem. Please do not shout that at me or copyright it. Well, you can't really copyright it anyway. But I wanted to give a sneak peek of what the new mascot was going to look like. And there's actually 2 mascots I'm debating. One is a tabby house cat, and with fancy markings, and then the other one is this one, which is the one that Angel made for me, named Kisu, which is what she calls me. She created this saber-toothed cat, and it has a tattoo of the Roman numeral 17 on the side, and a chained collar that has a dog tag that says lies in a specific language. I can't remember what it was. Has wings, though this is definitely not it. But it's a sneak peek. I know they've been taking an incredible long time, and that's because the mascots keep changing. Angel and I keep throwing different ideas. We've been working on it for months and months and months. I'm not even joking. Like, almost every day, we go out for a walk in the middle of the night and just talk about the mascots and how we want to draw them, and whether we want to draw them or whether we want to get them commissioned, what kind of details we want to do, that kind of a thing. So, I do apologize for that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this wasn't too intolerable to listen to. I am just incredibly happy that we have hit 500 subscribers. This is just the coolest thing ever, and I look forward to when I can sit here in this chair looking at my screen and going, damn, I hit 1,000 subscribers. That's my new goal right now, and I'm incredibly excited to eventually work my way up there. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I most certainly enjoyed talking, and I look forward to seeing maybe what your opinions are in the comments below. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what else we can do next. So anyway, y'all take care. Don't get too obsessed with the social media, but use it for what you need to. Don't use it for what you want to. And don't use it to get social attention. That is bad. So, hopefully I made that clear. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care now. Bye!